It's time for another episode of TNDR.
What's TNDR? Are we changing the podcast name? New logo? Something?
No, TNDR, the new dad rock.
Sounds like TLDR.
What, too long didn't read?
Exactly.
Well, welcome one and all to the new dad rock.
Hey, apparently I've been thinking. It's been way too long since I've seen a live show.
Tell me about it. I think the last show that I saw live was Power Trip and High on Fire last November. So it looks like I'm going to go all of the year 2020 without seeing a show.
Whoa. Yeah, at least we have live streams.
That's a good segue because there is yet another live stream that I feel like the new Dad Rock audience should want to check out. It's coming up, I believe, September 26th.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And it's the Osees.
Woo! Yeah. I know John Dwyer. He's the musician I've seen live the most times.
That makes sense. He has the most band names.
Yeah. OCS, Osees, the Osees, Osees. I'd have to spell these all out if you really want to understand it. That's so stupid. It's like OCS, the letters. It's like O, like OH. So besides John Dwyer, who's been in so many fucking bands, dude. He's been in OCS, OCs, Coach Whips, a German band. I forget the name right now. Pink and Brown. I think he was in Hospitals. Man, I started seeing that guy probably 2000. I don't know. All the way through till now. I've seen him for 20 years. It's probably the guy I've seen the most.
Yeah, so you've seen John Dwyer the most. The musician I've probably seen the most is Les Claypool.
Woo!
And I started seeing him in 92.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
years.
He's in Primus. He's in Les Claypool solo act. He's Les Claypool's Fearless Flying Frog Brigade. Oysterhead. Were you at that show?
Yeah, I think so. In New York
Berkeley
City?
Greek Theater. No, Berkeley Greek Theater.
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know
that
if I was
have
in
been
Oysterhead. No. I think I was less in what was the one where they were monks? What was that called?
Was that the Bucket of Bernie Brains?
No, earlier. Oh, I swear there's one where he's like, whoa. Anyway, we'll remember later, but I saw that show at the Supper Club. It was so ridiculously sick.
That was just Les Claypool. I think I was at that show with you as well.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Right. But Oysterhead was with Trey Anastasio of Fish and Stuart Copeland, the drummer of The Police. The three of them. That was just crazy.
Dude, I'm just totally curious how, like Stuart Copeland got involved. Like, hey, Stuart! I guess they could just cross paths at a show, probably a Fish show or whatever. And, obviously they're amazing musicians. But Trey, man, he puts out so much material. I've been watching a lot of his YouTube stuff. Fish does their dinner and a movie every Tuesday, which has been amazing, I think. Live streams of past shows that have happened over the last 30 years. It's really impressive, the amount of effort they put into recording everything.
It's really impressive the amount of coverage Fish has gotten on this podcast, considering where they rank in our personal favorite bands, because I don't know about you, they're not particularly high in my favorite bands at all. But we talk about them every freaking episode.
I think I know why, though. Because they are not my favorite band. But I think they're my favorite live band. And what I mean by that is, when you went, in college or, later, when you went to your friend's band in, a local place, they're just so awesome. You're like, damn, you nailed it. Yeah, you're right. As far as, can I listen to their record? No. But as a live performance or, as a band you're jamming, what are you accomplishing? It's pretty fun good. But you're right. There's nothing John Dwyer, man. He's just a force of nature. He started out as the Orinoco Crash Suite, OCS. Then it was OCS, the letters. Orange County Sound, lowercase the OOH, C's, SEES. Then capitalized the THEEOCs. And then OCs without the or the. And then now a band called the OCs, like Osiris spelled, capital OSEES. Crazy.
One word.
Yeah, OCs.
Yeah, this probably doesn't make much sense to our listeners, but a bunch of different homonyms.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know why he does it. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. It just seems chaotic. I guess it keeps it newsworthy.
We're talking about right now. And, to be fair, it's some sort of art. Maybe he has some aesthetic where it's whatever. Fuck search engines.
I think his album art reflects the band, or changes with band names. Anyway.
Dude,
how did you start listening? Because I know I only started listening to Osees, which I think their first album was 2016 or 17.
Okay.
But I recognize them from you talking about John Dwyer. I remember you mentioning Coach Whips like 15 years ago, easily.
Yeah, it's really hard to place right now. Like, but it was everywhere. I mean, I saw them as Pink and Brown. I saw them like not Game of Thrones, Great American Music Hall. Like as that, like they were sick and covered in latex. I saw them in this German homoerotic rap band. Like it was all performance art, terrific. I saw him at an Extreme Elvis show where we were in the crowd together. Yeah, he plays the Coach Whips forever. Multiple incarnations of that. Yeah, I mean, at some points, I just wonder, he has so many different band names. It's like, is he just trying to give credit to the fact that those are different lineups? Because that's how I sort of started naming my bands after like 20 years. It's like, this is Guilt Yankee, and it's because it was Josh played with the core band. Or like, this is Keith and the Terrorists, and it's because it was the three of us playing, or this set of songs. So
yeah. I mean, I think the OCs and OCs sound pretty similar.
yeah, sure,
and
100%.
the couple songs that I've heard from the new one-word OCs, but OCS, the three letters OCS, they are a little bit more 60s kind of psychedelic, almost Mamas and the Papas or Love, or they're a bit softer, whereas OCs and when it's spelled out tends to be a lot noisier, janglier, punkier,
sure.
garagier.
Sure. No, there's an obvious answer. The OCS, the letters, is him by himself recording at home or in a studio, whatever it is. I think it's at home. And he probably has a studio now. The spelled out one is the band for sure. And he's added two drummers now. Like, so the Coach Whips were incarnated as like no bass, two guitarists. He was one of them. Second guitarist who could also play keys, a drummer, and then a female. I think maybe she was a keyboardist and singer, backup singer. So
yeah, but I think she was an OCS too.
Maybe the first incarnation, but then he left San Francisco, moved to LA. I mean, I'm totally getting this wrong. Like, I'm not even a friend of a friend of a friend. Though I got invited to a New Year's Eve show, and then they had to move the location. And this is back before cell phones and the internet. Like, this is like late 90s. No, this is probably 2000.
What's interesting, I think it's Bridget Dawson is her name, and she's like I think a core member. But what I'm thinking of is OCS, the 3-letter version, did their first 4 albums, which are called 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yep.
From like 01 to 05.
Yeah.
And then randomly in 2017, they put out another one. Like, okay. Like, all these bands overlap. It's
not bands.
chaos.
It's not bands. It's 100% him.
It's just him.
No, I mean, he's the common thread is what I meant to say. There are people with bands.
Of course.
But like, I think, like, I feel it's like one of the mileage charts now where, like, this is that. And, like, if it's OCS letters, it's him. And, like, he's just so prolific. He's just, like...
Yeah, so a million different bands. The one he did the longest was The OCs, which was from, like, 2008 to 2016. They did like a dozen albums or something, and then they dropped the and just became OCs. And they've put out 3 albums under that name. That's kind of where I picked up the story. I recognized John Dwyer's name from you.
Yeah.
I listened to something on a website or a blog. It was probably Brooklyn Vegan had like a sample. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. So that was the Orc, the first album with that. And then they did... Face Stabber, and then the one in the middle was Smoke Reverser, which has this crazy, like, demon from Stranger Things album cover, which makes you think it's a total death metal album, but it's heavy at times, but it's definitely not metal.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, because I was thinking how much, like, I despise metal, which we can talk about another day, or have already talked about in the past, or we'll talk about forever.
I think we mentioned that recently.
No, but that's what I was actually thinking about. Yeah. Well, when I was thinking about this episode and this band, which I listen to all the time, though, to be fair, I mostly go to live shows because the live show is so sick. So for me, it's mostly about going to live show. I don't actually buy albums. I mean, granted, no one buys albums. Like, he's so prolific. He puts something out every 6 months or once a year. There's just so much of it. And, like, we may say there's different band names, which I think are different band incarnations. Definitely. But the sound's the sound. Like, he's like very few artists, like, and I'm thinking about novelists now, have like their style so divergent for every fucking thing. The shit sounds the same.
Like Taylor Swift?
Anyone, dude. Anyone. God forbid. Even Pink Floyd. right? Like even people like Rolling Stone, like everyone has a sound. Like that's what makes them that band. Like the bands you want them to break out, and they don't, and that's why some bands just give up, which I fully respect. Like Neutral Milk Hotel and Jane's Addiction, like we're so sick, we just have to stop now. And then the songs are like these bands are good, like U2 and Moscow. It's like yeah, we're good enough. We'll keep going, but we're not going to put it out unless it's good enough. REM did pretty well until everyone got old.
You've seen them. How many times do you think you've seen him live?
Oh my God. My first inclination is like 20, but it could be 30 or 40. Could be higher, like it's not 50, I don't think. But it always gets hard when you get to large numbers. This is a lot, though. It's been like 20 years, twice a year. That's 40, man. Actually, I'm not putting 40 that far out. Actually, 60 could be the case. And it's weird because he's been in so many different bands from the names and the groups of the people, but it's generally that area of fast-ish, punk-ish, summertime-ish, California, surf rock,
There's a bit
rock.
of guitar rock. There's definitely guitar rock in there, and I wonder if the in the Osees was kind of a play on that whole, like, everybody was the White Stripes, the Strokes, the Shins, remember in the early 2000s, everybody was the whatever.
No, but he had that so early, like you said. Like, I think once he had OCS, he had all the versions.
And then he became just to set himself apart from all these other bands.
Dude, he could have had a plan. Like, he puts out one thing a year. Like, one thing I gotta say is he's really determined about delivering on what he says to himself. That's my guess. Like, he's solid. I think, like, his awesome art that's on everything I think he draws most of that. Or all of that. Actually, I think he draws all of it. Because he's put books out, too, and stuff. Coffee Tale books.
That's really cool, because I love the Osees, which is the one that I'm most familiar with. Orc is the first one. It's this cool looking purple troll guy.
Yeah.
And then, like I said before, the one after that, Smote Reverser, the guy looks like the Mind Flayer from Stranger Things. It looks so metal, but it's
so metal.
Except for a couple passages. Except for a couple passages here and there. It's not really metal. It's psychedelic.
Well, I'm sorry. No. Hold on. Okay. No, but the iconography. And also, Pink and Brown. We mentioned them briefly before. It was a band where they just all in latex. One guy was in pink, one guy's in brown. It's super fucking heavy and mathematical. It was very thrash rock. It was it was like Ween. Okay, so Ween takes over a genre. And John Dwyer and his band, whoever is in his band, takes over a genre. They're like, we can own, thrash rock, or we can own... Dude, they did a German band. I was in this video. I was definitely in this video. And like, it's a DVD from like 2003, 2004, maybe 5. It was called Big Red Eye or something. Oh man, I wish I knew the facts. It was like local TV or local cable TV free access that they put on TV. And I was at 3 or 4 of the concerts where they filmed for this DVD. Burn My Eyes, what it was called. And he plays in this German band, him and his friend. They played on the floor of Bottom of the Hill. And like, so you're playing in the middle of the floor, so everyone's around you, and they just start like a little mosh pit, and it's all these songs that are like, Take My Love, I don't know what they're called. They're really bad, I can't say them online. But like, it was just like, they were totally just owning this German homoerotic rap band. Ziegenbach Kampf. I look scared. I look scared in the video. Dude, put it in the links below, people can try to identify it, but like, I look terrified multiple times. I'm like a stick being like bopped around in like a little mosh pit. And I'm very stiff. Everyone else looks comfortable.
Yeah, you got to get down. You got to get loose in a mosh pit. You don't want to be...
Dude, it's like my first...
You got to absorb the hit.
I'm like 28, 29. It's probably my first decent mosh pit. I don't know. I've seen violent mosh pits, but I always back up. Actually, if you watch the video, you see me backing up. And it becomes my hairline right in the front of the video at some point. Because like you just see me back up because I'm terrified. It's obvious. So I think he owns his record label, or I mean, he totally does. Castle Rock, I think it's called Castle Rock Records. Like
Castle Rock, yeah, that's a cool section of Sugarbush Mountain to ski. It's the natural terrain.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Yeah, the art you like. I think he makes art for the other bands. He makes art for the record label. Hey, have you heard Damaged Bug?
No, I haven't.
Damaged Bug is like his I think he has 2 albums out by the Damaged Bug. It's like him doing electronic music in his band. He's like Steve Malcolmus at this point. Like, what was Stephen Malcolmus's album? That was like the last one we felt Traditional Techniques.
With the silver wrapper.
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, but it was like electronic music. This says the same thing. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. I listened to it a bunch, actually. It was one of the CDs in my travel CD case. But Damaged Bug is very fascinating. So, I'm going to watch the live stream. For sure. I mean, September 26th. I mean, if I can. I mean, that's probably a better way to say it.
Yeah, that's a tough weekend for me. It's my 20th wedding anniversary, and I know for my 10th wedding anniversary, I was in a business trip to Europe, so maybe I'll go to Europe. Too bad I'm not allowed.
Oh, that'd be great.
If you're at all interested, I know we haven't really made the case, but this is a very unique individual who plays really cool looking guitars.
I have to say, John Dwyer and any band he's in, including the Osees, or is it the Osees now? It's best live show. And it's ironic, there's no live shows now. I had tickets to a show just this past week that didn't happen. I still kept those tickets. Can't wait for them to come back. And so why do I think they're the best live band? Oh man, probably the energy of the crowd. Everyone's just so into it. It's not like everyone knows all the songs. They're not singing along, but they're pogoing up and down. I don't want to say it's a pit, but everyone's pushing around. Everyone's so excited to be there. They have good opening bands. They also do a very good job of not playing too big of venues. They'll often do 2-3 shows in a row in LA or San Francisco or New York. So they're playing venues like 500-600 people, like the Chapel or Great American Music Hall in San Francisco. They have so many songs. It'd be hard to say which album's the best. So seeing them live is sort of a better option because they're going to just sound great. And he's such a good guitarist. I mean, you really have to give it up for his guitar playing ability. In fact, I think that's why he's moved to this current lineup, which is 2 drummers and a bassist. And I think they added a 5th person, but I wasn't really paying attention. Anyway, check out some of the videos we have linked below. They even have a rehearsal video on YouTube for the upcoming live stream, or was that for the album? So check it out. Live streams later in September. Hope you enjoy the Osees.
I don't think you'll be disappointed. It'll at least be entertaining. It's as close as you're going to get to live music, and they're going to get into it. They're going to rock out. There's going to be some sweat. There might be a little bit of blood. There will surely be tears.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have enough songs to be like Jane's Addiction, Call It Quits. They definitely have 20 freaking songs that will blow your socks off. They are the best live band. So live stream, I mean, as good as it gets. If live translates to live stream, which it hopefully does, this will be amazing.
Yeah. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show, and check out the episode notes for a playlist of tonight's featured bands and various spellings.
And get yourself some cool New Dead Rock swag at Teespring.
Well, all of our sites, there's a little heart. Just click on the heart.
Dude, please
buy some mugs, shirts, pillows. I'm not expecting Keith to pay his share.
What? Moi?
Yeah, moi. Like the character from Glamorama.
Is that really what he was called?
No, the guy kept referring to, he would say moi, like as in myself in French, be like moi. And, the stupid model guy is like, moi, who's moi?
Oh my God.
He didn't get the connection.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, moi?
What was his name? Victor Ward?
Victor, I remember that. Oh my God. Yeah, I was thinking about Brady Snell's the last couple of days. Okay, cool. Man, I gotta run. Toodle-doo.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. See you next Tuesday.